Welcome to our used 2017 Sunseeker 3050. Starting right in your back bumper here, if you just kind of reach in, pull that cap out of there. Inside of the back bumper, you're going to find your sewer hose. Take note of those two ears and the adapter here to help you hooking it up to your sewer system. And the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the bumper back here to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things a bit fresher, and that cap just presses into place. Up around the corner from there, you'll find your short cord inlet. So as you pop this open, there's a little notch in the bottom corner there. You'll line up with this notch here. You're going to press those in together, little eighth turn to lock it down, then you get the threaded collar in the back there to really lock it into place. As you follow the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end. Most campsites will have that for you. You can just plug straight in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. Straight up above that is your cable and satellite inlet. Coax cable plugs into there, fires up your TV location. This compartment here, as you open it up, it does see just straight through to the other side. You have some kind of accessories here, these manual overrides, right, just for whatever you may need. Throughout all your storage compartments, you are going to find that little black plug there, basically just unthreads. So if you're to get any form of water in here, you can drain it all out. Up from there is your exterior shower. So you'll get a key just like this little guy here. You can stick it on into there and open her up. And inside of here, you're going to get a 3-foot hose, standard head, hot and cold water. So if the dog's out getting muddy, you can spray him off before he goes inside. Once you're done, just wrapping it around the handles, tucking it into place, and locking it back down. This compartment here is going to be your finger latch on the left side here, holds it open for you. On the right side, you're going to find your water hose. Inside of the water hose, you're going to find your park adapter, so your 30 amp cord into there, 15 to a standard outlet. Up beside it is your ride right, so that's your little air chuck access to your airbags. Basically, just inflate those, so as you're to load the unit up with all of your stuff, or if you're to be towing something, you can add some air into the back here, just kind of level out your ride, make sure you're driving properly. Little service light here, you can see what you're doing. On the left side, you get a black valve. On the right, you get a gray. Gray tank is filled from your sinks as well as your shower. Typically, cleaner water will dump that last. Black valve here is going to be controlling your black tank. Black tank is filtering your toilet. Of course, it's going to be your dirtiest water. We don't want to dump that first. The cap here, you can see, has the two same ears on it that your sewer hose had. Then you have this little access panel here. You can just unscrew, run your sewer hose up through there. Just kind of run down everything down and through. Fuel inlet right beside it. And then just big open storage here. Same thing here. Just open storage. Right here is going to be your generator. So as you pop this open, you get these two little latches there. We can undo those. Pops it on open. You get this one switch right here. You're going to press and hold the left side until that light turns on. That's just priming it up. Then you can press and hold start. Fires right up. Once you're done, you just press the stop button. That'll turn it off. You have the same sort of switch inside, so you can activate this guy from inside the unit. Once you're done, just closing it back off there. Exhaust for it's just right here, so of course making sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. Around the front of the unit, just kind of your standard E-Series Ford. Little quick connect right here for a propane system. So if you're to have a hose, you can just kind of attach it to there, run it to a barbecue or whatever you may like. Just kind of keeping in mind that you do have this valve down here. And with that valve opened up, you cannot undo your quick connect. So just kind of an added safety. You want to make sure it's closed off before you attach your hose. Then you can open it up. Propane tank itself is just right here. So you get your valve right there front and center. Just turn it to open it up. Simple as that. Little gauge on the left side there also reads out inside the unit. Open storage here. And more open storage behind your entry door. And inside of here, you're going to find your inverter. So you get that little plug-in on the left side there. Basically allows you to run your fridge off of this battery power. Right? Takes your battery power, inverts it, creates 120 volts so you can run your fridge. Straight up above that is your hot water tank. You get that keyway there. You just line it up and you can pop it on open. All your controls for turning this guy on are just inside the unit. Before we turn it on with either source, though, you just want to hit this relief valve there. You should get that shot of water coming out. If you're not getting any water coming out of there, there is a chance that it's empty, and you do run the risk of burning out your elements. So you just want to make sure it's full before firing it up. Once you're done, just locking it back down with the keyway. Service and venting for your fridge there. Nothing really there for you to worry about. Just service and vent. Exhaust for your furnace, so just making sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. Cable and satellite outlet, as well as a 12-volt outlet. So if you want a 12-volt TV outside, you can. And you get your 120-volt outlet there as well. GFI outlet here too. Test and resets. So if it ever doesn't work, you just want to check those. Towards the back of the unit, you get this inlet right there. So that's your black tank flush. So you may notice over time, after having gone and dumped your black tank, your monitor panel is still reading a third or 2/3, whatever it may be. Typically just some debris inside of the tank hanging between the probes. So just take your water hose, plug it into here, open up that black valve, turn on the water, and that'll just flush out that tank for you. This compartment here is just open storage, but you do also have access to your water pump in here. So this valve right there is going to be your fresh water tank drain. So as you open that up, it just allows your water tank to drain itself out. This valve right here is selecting between normal mode, which is what we're currently in, or you can bring it up, and that would be your winterizing mode. This allows the pump to draw off of this hose here, so that you can stick that into your jug of antifreeze to winterize the unit. And then right behind those two valves there, you get this valve right here. That's going to be your low point drain for your cold side. And then up top there's your low point drain for your hot side. Once you're done, just closing it back off and flip it back open, shut. And the big door in the back here, just that rear storage compartment. Up on the front wall there, you do have that little push button light. Then kind of up above that is your fresh water inlet. Your water hose will just plug into there, turn on the water, and that'll fill up your freshwater tank. You know that tank is full once it starts spitting water out of that vent there. And then in the back of the unit, you get your ladder so you can get up top and check all of your seals. Then you can see the previous owner did install a rear view camera. So now we'll make our way inside of the units here. Your door just flips on open. It's on a gas strut, so it'll kind of hold itself at 90 degrees or so. This first step here, if you undo that strap, it gives you access to your batteries. The batteries are on a disconnect switch. It's just off to the left side here, so you can have that pointed up, and that's your battery then disconnected. Over to the right side is connected. Fuses and relays, a couple of them are just back here. Otherwise, we'll show you your converter in a bit. That's what you'll be doing your house with. These two switches here, the one on the left is your porch light, the one on the right is your awning light. I might have got that backwards. Right. This switch right here just turns on that inverter, so you just flip that on and turn on your inverter. Little solar charge controller right here, so you do have solar panels installed, so this guy's all hooked up, ready to go. Right. Awning itself is on this switch here. You press and hold extend, and that awning will make its way out. Once that awning is fully extended, we're going to see a little black flap come down, as well as the black of the metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to stop. If you're to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case the fabric would be underneath the tube, allowing it to hold water, accelerating growth of mold and mildew. There's our flap, and there's the tube, so we'll stop right there. Now if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways. What you can do is grab either arm, front, or rear. You're just going to pull straight down on it, and you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. If you like that angle better because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm up front. Before you bring it back in though, you just want to make sure these arms back out straight and fully extended, just so you're not running the risk of bending them. Then we can press and hold the track, and the awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just going to watch to make sure that your fabric stays over top of the tube. And the last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind. So once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in. Again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. There we go. A little bit of closet space here. And kind of up from there, you're going to find all your light switches. So on the right side here in the center, you get your kitchen switch. The living room switch is right beside it. This bottom right corner here does a little driver's light, rear light. Does a little white one kind of in the back corner there by your sewer system. Slide out is on the switch here. Press and hold out, and the slide will make its way out. Once that slide's fully extended, it'll just kind of stop in place. Get a couple of clicks from the motors, I believe. Oh, just like that. So up from there, you get these three red switches. The one on the right is your water pump switch. As you turn that on, just turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Water heater is right beside it. On the right side here, you get it on gas. You turn that switch on, fire up on gas. If that red light there were to come on, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired. At that point, just off, back on to reset it. Water heater and electricity is right beside it. Voltmeter right here, so you can see what your batteries are at. You just turn that on, we'll get a readout here. So 14.4, you can see you're currently charging. This switch up top here is for your generator. Works the exact same as that one you had outside. Press and hold the bottom there until that little red light comes on. And you press and hold start to fire it up. Hour meter here just tells you where you're at with that thing. So if you're coming up on service, you just kind of keep track of that through there. Monitor systems on the left side. So on the bottom here, you have liquid propane gas. You can see we're currently full. Fresh tanks, you fill that up, we'll go to a third, 2/3 and full. Same idea for your black and your gray tanks. Kind of up from there, right at the entrance, you get a little bit of storage here. And then down the side, you get your couch here. You can see it does have the seat belts in it, so you can occupy it during travel. Also reclines out. Just get the little flips on the side there. Straight up from there, you get just a bunch of open storage. Stereo here, pretty straightforward there. Power button's going to turn it on. You get all your presets here. Speaker set A is your inside set, B is your outside set, C I think is in the back. Outlets up top. So you can see you've got your antenna outlet currently hooked up. Turning that antenna on is just a little button beside it, 12 volt outlet above it, power outlet beside it. Antenna itself is just right here, so you're just pressing that little knob on the side there, turning it around, looking for your best signal. Wherever you find it, you leave it there. When you're going traveling though, you just want to make sure that this arrow here is pointed forward. The sleeping space up front, so you have this piece here that you pull back, fill in that gap, then you get your ladder there, we're just attaching to here, hop up top. On either side of, or either side of the head, you've got a little bit of storage underneath, as well as your cup holders in the center there. The little lights are just on their own center push buttons. Same thing on the other end here. Okay. The TV here does flip out, so you get your little travel locks there. You just unthread those, loosen them off, and then this guy swings out. Point it where you like it. Okay. Once you're done, you just want to make sure it's forward. Lock those down. That way it's not swinging around while you're out traveling. Outlets forward right beside it there. You had a rear view camera outside. This is your display for it. Just has a 12 volt outlet, plugs in, suction cups onto the window or the dash. Storage up top. That little curtain right here sits into all those Velcros and kind of closes off that front cabin from the rest of the unit. All right. Seat belts here again, so you can occupy this for travel. Your table here does come down, so you got this lock there you'll undo. Kind of pick up where? Oh, it just pushes down. Right, and then you take your two side cushions, fill in the center, and that creates your bed. It of course would sit right down further onto those little ledges there. Once you're done, just bringing it back up all the way, making sure that lock comes back up into place. Open storage underneath them on either side, so just the big drawers there. Right around the corner is your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air, sits on the floor. That guy detects and starts going off just like your smoke detector. Smoke detector is right up from there. Right, throughout the unit, you have the little skylights there, so you do have the little kind of blinds there for them as well, just to close them off. Also have a max air roof vent right in the center of the unit, so you got that little knob there, you're just turning that to open it up. And then in the back corner, you have your buttons for turning on the fan. So you have fan speed 1, 2, 3, and 4. After 4, if you hit it again, it just comes back around to 1. To turn it off, just press off there. Turn that knob to close it back up. Once you have it closed tight, you're just going to press that knob up into place and that'll lock it. In the kitchen, get your storage up top. Inside of here, you're going to find that pouch. The pouch has any sort of owner's manuals, any remotes, anything like that, you'll find right in there. A little bit of light down here as well. Access to a little storage bin there, so a little garbage chute. Hot and cold water, of course, and the dual basin sink there too. Storage underneath it. Just being mindful of your drains and your water lines. All your drawer space here as well. All your drawers are on anti-slams. Microwave up top, pretty straightforward, just like home. Just has the addition of the convection. You also have your exhaust fan here, right? High, low, and off. You also get your light here as well. The bifold cover just flips on back. Taking the knob, turn it over to light, hit the igniter, fires right up. Once you're done, just turning it all off, letting it cool down, and you can close the cover. For the oven, you're going to grab a lighter, open it up, turn that knob on the right over to the pilot, press and hold. Right in the back, you can get that pilot light going. Once you have it going, you just hold the knob for another couple of seconds, and you can release, and the flame will hold itself. Turn up to your desired temperature, and she fires right up. Once you're done, turn it back down just the pilot. It'll hold just the pilot light for you, but if you're going traveling, you just want to make sure it's right off. Right behind me under your fridge here, sorry, in your fridge here, got your power button on the left side there. The power button close to flush, that's going to be it running on auto. See that button, auto's on right there. Auto's first looking for AC power. If AC power is taken away, it'll automatically flip over to gas. If you're out boondocking and you want it to run solely on gas and not to use your inverter, you can have this button come out over flush, fire up on gas. That check light there would come on, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired up at that point, just off back on to reset it. Freezer up top, fridge down below. Access to your hot water tank for winterizing the unit is just right behind this panel here. There's just a little screw in each corner. pantry space here. Then your converter, press it on the right side, it'll pop on open. You get all of your breakers in the middle there. Whenever breaker breaks, it sits in the center, so just turn it off and then back on to reset it. All of your fuses are on the right side. Whenever a fuse pops, the little red light right beside it will turn on, letting you know exactly which one went. Sliding door here to close off the front bedroom. This is where you get access to your bathroom. Up on the wall there, light switch on the left is your light switch. One on the right is your fan switch. Just turn that knob to open up that vent. For the toilet, of course, just flips on open. You get your flusher right in the back side there. You just pull it to flush it. Standard head and hose in the shower, hot and cold water, of course. Sink, bathroom sink. So you have your hot and cold water, of course, and more storage underneath. You also have a little laundry hamper here. Medicine cabinet opens on up. It's not really a handle in the bottom, it's just kind of cut on that angle, so you can kind of grip that. Fire protected outlet, test on the bottom, reset on top. And into the bedroom, light switch is over on the side there. Never found out what that one on the right does. The one on the left is your light switch. Up from there is your thermostat. You're going to press that button on the left there and that'll turn it on. It's going to start from off and you're going to hit it again. It'll come into fan speed. So typically you're just going to be leaving that in auto unless you're just looking to move some air around. Then you can select your high or low fan. Like I said though, otherwise leave that in auto. After fan speed, you hit it again. It'll come down into cool. Select your temperature with your arrows here. That'll fire up the air conditioner. With the air conditioner going, you got two different options. You can have this louver here closed, in which case we'll be using all of our ceiling ducting to move the air, or you can open it up and it just dumps all of its air into the living space here. When you first get out to your campsite, you want that open, cool off this area as quickly as possible, and you can close it off, start moving the air throughout. After cool, you hit the mode again, come out of cool into furnace, we'll turn off the air conditioner and turn on your furnace. Furnace is moving its air through all your little black portals that you have throughout the unit. After furnace, you hit mode again, it comes down into off, turns everything off, and then it would just cycle back around. Closet space here, so you can see you get this little switch up on the side there. It turns on a little light for you. Center space just open, as well as on top. And then open closet in the back again. If we pick up the foot of your bed, there is a little compartment underneath here. And then in the head of the bed, you get the little reading lights. Press it once, it kind of lights the base. Press it again, it lights the head. Same light over there. And really, that's about it for this unit. So if you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.